All right. So again, now we're here talking about Unity. Let's focus on Unity. Now, you want to make games with Unity, you could do that on your own. It could be a one-man show. And it could also be a team effort. It could be a team of 3 people, 5 people, or even there's teams out there of more than 1,000 people. You know, if you go to the King team or even Supercell, they have at least 500 people, employees. Same thing with Zynga as well, and plenty of others. Electronic Arts, definitely. So again, it's up to you, but you definitely have to start somewhere. So I would advise you to start by yourself, or maybe a team or 2 or 3 people. That's definitely a great way to start. Now, something I'd like to say about Unity. You can make 2D games and 3D games. Now, in the past, you could only make 3D games, but you can also do 2D games now. And I advise you to start with 2D games because it doesn't require as much graphics or as much assets than a 2D game. It's a lot easier to get 2D graphics than 3D models, and it's also cheaper. And I will show you some examples on how to do that and how to get that. All right. Now, let's say you want to go and create a team of what we call an independent team, which is a team of between, let's say, 3 to 5 people or 8 people, or, a very small number of people. So, what do you think this is going to cost you per year to create that team and have this team that's working 40 hours a week? Just take a guess here. Is that going to cost you $10,000 to have 2 or 3 people working full time? $100,000? No, you can already see that it's not going to be $100,000 because think about it. Just split that into 3 people, that's only $30,000 each. And guess what? We haven't even talked about licenses, getting an office. You also need to get chairs. You need to get security, internet connection. You need to get lots of different softwares for management. And we're going to talk about all of this in details in a little bit. But again, so you can already see that this is going to cost you a lot more. And also there's a big risk here. When you have people working for you, you have to at least allow yourself 3 years, I would say 2 to 3 years of full-time work for that team to do something that could hit the top ranks in the app stores. So remember, at least allow yourself a certain amount of time. So you have to have all this money in the bank to be able to create this. Now, it doesn't have to be your money. You can also already find investors to do that for you. But it's going to be harder because investors want to see that you can make games. So it's kind of a catch-22. You cannot make games if you don't have the money to hire the team. But you cannot find investors to make these games if you don't already have some kind of games. So, at the end of the day, my advice to you is to start by yourself and learn as much as you can. Try to be the jack of all trades. What do I mean by this? I want you to touch everything. I want you to be able to make graphics. I want you to make graphics in 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions. I want you to know how to animate these graphics, how to put colors, how to put them inside of Unity, how to use them to make levels, how to add animations and program the characters and the environment to make interesting interactive games. And then I want you to know the whole domain of publishing the games in the app stores. And also, I want you to understand that after publishing the games in the app store, this is only the beginning. People think that they're like, yes, I finally have my game in the app store. I'm going to get rich now. That's not how it works. You have to understand the whole marketing side of things, which is the other 50% of the efforts you're going to have to do. Getting in touch with the magazines, the websites, all the types of medium that are going to create the buzz and talk about your game. So there's a lot of work, not just to connect with the people, but to create relationships and get the word out there. Also add virality inside of your game so that people that play your game can share your games with their friends and families on social networks and even beyond that, with the word of mouth, for example. All right, so as you can see, this is definitely the best way to go. Start on your own, and I've created a series of Unity courses for you to understand all these parts. And we're going pretty well into in-depth details for all of these different sections. but I made it in a way that I'm sure that anyone can do this. You do not have to be an artist. You do not have to be a programmer. You do not have to be a business person. You just have to follow the steps. These are proven steps that I've used myself, and I've had millions of downloads, and I made more than six-figure numbers just by following the steps that we're going to be talking about here and in other courses. This course is just an intro course about the business side of things, but we cannot go too deep into the business. Obviously, I cannot tell you a whole, 15 years of experience in one small course. There's no way. Plus, it requires experience no matter what. It's not because I'm going to tell you do this, do that, that it's going to work for you. You're still going to have to do the daily grind.